Bring in NBC Boston's political commentator, Sue O'Connell, right now. Sue, beyond purchasing a new vehicle, right, what are some of the other consequences of this 25% auto tariff that a lot of us might not even be thinking about right now?
Well, Colton, rising car prices would boost used car demand and those prices as well. And then Americans might keep their cars 2 to 3 years longer, and that would increase the average age of vehicles on the U.S. road. And that means repairs would be more likely, and they would likely cost more and take longer due to the expensive and limited part availability, right? And then rural residents, they don't have as much access to public transportation as folks in the city and suburbs, so they would be affected the most with transportation costs increasing. Remember, these costs take up nearly 16 to 17% of household budgets, so families would have to find the money they need to get around by cutting other things.
Well, over the weekend, President Trump made a lot of headlines beyond this, right?
Yep. Unlike other weekends.
Yeah. Not ruling out the possibility of seeking a third term in the White House. He said it to Kristen Welker, Meet the Press. A third term is something that is prohibited by the Constitution under the 22nd Amendment. So how is this even possible? Explain this one to us.
So, Colton, first we need to say that that's an extraordinary statement to make, that he would consider seeking a third term, okay? So in order for any president to serve a legal third term, there would need to be a constitutional amendment, but that's really hard. Good luck with that. It's almost incredibly impossible to pull off. Or maybe there could be some major crisis, like a huge war where normal government rules might get suspended temporarily. But there's also this interesting acting president loophole where Trump could become Speaker of the House. You don't need to be a congressperson to do that. And then if both the president and vice president decided not to serve, Trump could slide into power without technically being elected to a third term. And then some people talk about the Supreme Court. They could possibly reinterpret the 22nd Amendment in some creative way, or even have a constitutional convention that would dissolve the United States government and launch a new government where the old rules don't apply, or the president could declare martial law and say elections can't happen, or there's the old puppet president approach where someone else gets elected, like J.D. Vance, but the former president pulls the strings behind the scenes.
Well, listen, you have said in the past, right, that the challenge of covering this particular Trump presidency is that it's hard to focus on what is real and what is measurable and what is just sort of rhetoric. What's your take on this topic?
So while it is possible the president is simply talking about a third term to distract from the tariffs or the detention of foreign students here on visas, it's also true that when the president of the United States says something, we should take it seriously. So I'm just not going to let one topic distract me from the other issues, Colton, so I'm paying attention to everything.
Yeah, well, good luck with that. Sue, as always, thank you.
You're welcome.